Right now, just beneath the surface of the day-to-day headlines, there are these huge, interconnected shifts that are quietly reshaping, well, everything. We're talking about fundamental pivots in technology, in how we spend our money, and even how we work. So let's connect the dots on these powerful forces.
And it all kind of kicks off with this one fascinating question. What on earth could possibly connect a super-intelligent, world-changing AI with the return of the $5 value meal? I know, it sounds a little bizarre, but trust me, by the end of this, you're going to see the surprising thread that ties them all together.
All right, let's dive into the engine that's really driving all of this change, the AI revolution. And look, this is not just another tech upgrade. We are literally watching a multi-trillion-dollar phenomenon unfold in real time.
So the really crucial thing to get here is that we've moved way beyond simple chatbots. We're now in the era of what's called agentic AI. Okay, think of it like this. A regular chatbot is kind of like a calculator. You ask it a question, it gives you an answer. One and done. But agentic AI, that's like giving the calculator a complex goal, like, hey, plan my entire vacation, and it just figures out all the steps on its own. It's booking the flights, finding the hotels, building the whole itinerary. It's a massive, massive leap in what this technology can do.
Now, for an AI to reason at that complex level, it needs an absolutely astronomical amount of energy and processing power. We are talking 100 to 1,000 times more compute power than the models that came just before it. That incredible demand? Well, it's creating a massive economic shockwave. And here's just how big that shockwave is. We're looking at a projected $3 to $4 trillion infrastructure opportunity over just the next 5 years. To put that into perspective for you, that is more than the entire annual GDP of most countries on Earth. All of that money is going toward building the data centers and the hardware needed to power this new AI.
And if you want to see what this looks like in the real world, just look at these numbers. This is for NVIDIA, one of the key players making AI chips. Their revenue just skyrocketed from $26 billion to over $44 billion in 1 year. That's not just growth, folks. That's an absolute explosion. And it's fueled entirely by this AI arms race. So, at the exact same time that trillions are being poured into this new digital world, there's a very different story unfolding for a lot of people on the ground. And that brings us to our next major pivot, the Great Consumer Divide.
What we're seeing is what a lot of analysts are calling a bifurcated economy. It's basically splitting in two. On one side, you've got high-income folks, who are, for the most part, still spending pretty freely. But on the other side, lower-income households are really pulling back. And this isn't just a number on a chart. It forces huge companies to make a choice. Are you selling to the premium market, or are you fighting for the value market?
And the reason for this is something I think we can all understand. As one market report puts it, a lot of consumers are simply being weighed down by the cumulative impact of inflation. I mean, after years of prices going up for essentials, gas, groceries, you name it, family budgets are just stretched to the absolute breaking point. Which brings us right back to that question from the beginning. What do companies do to deal with this pressure? Well, you guessed it, the return of the value meal. They are rolling out $5 deals specifically to win back these customers who are watching every penny. So you see, the super high-tech trillion-dollar AI boom and the good old-fashioned cheap value meal are really just two sides of the very same economic coin. Now, this whole dynamic, massive investment meeting a super specific urgent consumer need, it's not just limited to tech and fast food. We're seeing a really similar gold rush happening in another huge part of our economy, healthcare. The demand for GLP-1 drugs, these are the new, highly effective weight loss medications, it's off the charts. It's truly unprecedented. But the drug manufacturers are running into some serious headwinds from unauthorized compounded versions that are flooding the US market. It's created this really complex mess where their only real move is to go all in and try to control their own supply chain. And when I say all in, how all in are we talking? Well, a company like Eli Lilly is planning to invest over $50 billion in US manufacturing alone. That is an enormous bet, and it's all designed to ramp up production, meet that incredible demand, and basically solidify their control over this blockbuster new market.
So we've seen how AI is creating entirely new industries and economies, but its next big impact is happening right now, inside the office walls, and it's completely rewriting the playbook on how companies get things done.
And what's so fascinating here is that this isn't some far-off futuristic prediction. It's happening as we speak. Get this, at a company like Google, nearly half of all their internal software code is already being generated by AI. Just think about that for a second. That's a staggering leap in productivity.
And this kind of acceleration is happening across every single industry. Just consider this example. Decoding a human genome? That used to take years of painstaking lab work. The healthcare company Roche recently set a new world record by doing it in under 4 hours. From years to hours. That's the kind of exponential, totally game-changing speed we're talking about here.
All right, so all these pivots in tech and efficiency are leading us to our final big theme, a fundamental rethinking of where and how things are made, everything from factories to the very definition of what a car company even is anymore.
So, in manufacturing, we're seeing this major strategic pivot towards localness. Basically, to avoid all the uncertainty of global tariffs and supply chains that have become, let's be honest, pretty fragile, companies are bringing production back to the US. It's a huge strategic move that's all about prioritizing resilience over just cutting costs.
And maybe no company embodies this kind of pivot more than Tesla. They are in the middle of a truly fundamental transformation. They started out, as we all know, as an electric vehicle manufacturer, but they are completely re-engineering their business to be about AI and robotics. The recent launch of their robotaxi service, that wasn't just a new product. That was a bold statement that their future is in autonomous technology, not just in building cars.
So there you have it. You've got an AI infrastructure boom creating a whole new digital world, while at the same time economic pressures are reshaping our physical one. You've got a gold rush in healthcare, a revolution in how we work, and a total pivot in how and where we build the future. All these forces are connected and they're all accelerating. So the only real question left is, which one is going to reshape your world first?